Dr. Loomis and Laurie Strode set Michael Myers ablaze at the end of Halloween 2. It was supposed to be the end of both Michael and his grizzled psychiatrist, but after what some felt at the time, a disappointing and confusing attempt at an anthology in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, bringing back Myers was a no-brainer, and given that series star Jamie Lee Curtis declined a return, it was time to next generation this situation by introducing Laurie Strode's daughter, Jamie, named after, you guessed it, Laurie, we were told, was killed in a car accident, and the 8-year-old Jamie now lives with a foster family. Myers, meanwhile, wakes up from a 10-year coma to stalk his young niece.
No, I still don't understand.
By the time producer Mustafa Akkad had jumped on the slasher icon train by resurrecting Michael Myers from the dead, the slasher genre he'd helped define had passed him by. Now, the killers were the heroes, with Freddy Krueger cracking wise in Nightmare on Elm Street sequels,
Krueger! Well, it ain't Dr. Seuss.
And Jason Voorhees never being anything less than a walking gag in the Friday the 13th film. And they were all driving into the ground a formula that John Carpenter's original Halloween had perfected. So if Michael Myers was going to compete with his contemporaries, any distinction would be crucial. And making the franchise revolve around an 8-year-old girl proved to be a cunningly singular difference. Whereas the survival girls in other horror movies were becoming as disposable as their dead friends, this ostensibly orphaned daughter of Laurie Strode from the original Halloween continued a Myers curse in a much more imminent way, with her very real innocence and constant danger of being hollowed out like an overripe jack-o'-lantern.
Jamie's uncle's a boogeyman. How come your mommy didn't make you a costume, Jamie? How could you? Her mommy's dead.
Played by everyone's favorite scream queen, Danielle Harris, Jamie is presented as pure and decent, and Harris, with her wide brown eyes and eager sense of wonder, makes Jamie easy to root for. For Jamie, just going trick-or-treating on Halloween is a triumph, a way to defeat the forces that have pushed to define her life by a murderer she's never even met.
Had enough? No way. Halloween's great. Can we stay out all night?
In the world of the Halloween series, though, Halloween is not great. It's not long before Jamie is running in terror from Michael, dressed in a Harley Quinn-style costume similar to the one young Michael wore when he killed his sister. As in the previous films, bloody chaos ensues as Michael Myers tries to track down his long-lost niece. The end of Halloween 4 features one of the franchise's most shocking moments, as Jamie follows in Michael's footsteps by attacking her foster mother. The sequence is depicted in the same point of view style as the opening of Carpenter's original movie, clearly meant to equate the previously sweet and innocent Jamie with a homicidal maniac. She emerges covered in blood as Loomis points his gun at her, just as he would at Michael, barely being restrained from killing her. It's a great scene because if we are going to act as though this family is cursed for some reason, we might as well go the kid killer route, because nothing amps up the scary quite like containing it in a tiny, unsuspecting package. Children are the embodiment of innocence and dependence, which is why they're so effective in horror movies. When we see a monster, we can accept that they are meant to be scary, and our brains know how to process it. But kids are different. A sweet little child is a lot more horrifying as they're unexpected. You'd fundamentally never expect them to turn on you, or even be capable of turning on you.
Oh, baby. Baby.
Children don't look frightening, so it's disturbing when they are contaminated by something evil. That's why there are so many effective horrors that introduce children as either the primary antagonist or a series issue the heroes have to overcome. It's also why so many use children's toys or music to unsettle the viewer. It's all the same source of fear in the end. So, for Halloween 5, we got our killer Jamie Lloyd flick, right? Well, no, of course not. That would have been too much fun. Sadly, Jamie's murderous turn is downplayed in favor of putting her in a clinic for mentally disturbed children and making her even more of a tragic character. When you have thought that Jamie's stepmom was dead from that stabbing incident because it was mirroring what Myers did in the original film as a 6-year-old to a sibling, but now it seems that the stepmom is still alive, thus blunting the potency of the parallel. Indeed, this was all a wasted opportunity. The superb ending of part 4 sets up lots of potentially new and interesting possibilities, and many involved with the series have stated that they were interested in doing the evil Jamie plotline, but instead, Akkad decided to retcon things in a way that made no sense and gave us the mess that was part 5.
I've just been in a weird mood all day. Well, everybody in this town is in a weird mood. They should ban Halloween in this town.
This is a movie that completely negates what came before it. An engrossing aspect of the previous movie was the relationship between Jamie and her stepsister, Rachel. Here, Rachel is quickly killed unceremoniously. No! And it becomes about Jamie's friendship with Tina, who is much less interesting. This isn't as bad as Newt and the other supporting characters of aliens being killed at the beginning of Alien 3, but it is the same frustration to loyal viewers who had any connections to the characters. After her narrative purpose was fulfilled, a financial dispute with Danielle Harris occurred, and the decision was made to kill Jamie Lloyd off at the beginning of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Apparently, years after the events of Halloween 5, Jamie had been impregnated somehow by the Thorn Cult. Jamie ends up escaping along with her baby, but Michael Myers pursues her, cornering her in a barn, painfully killing off one of the biggest fan favorite characters in the series. Jamie managed to escape Michael's grasp for 2 straight films, only to wind up gutted in a barn. While Jamie Lloyd didn't end up becoming the new killer of the series, many fans still remember the character fondly.
How about this afternoon I pick you up from school and we go get ice cream?
Double scoops?
Double scoops.
But what do you guys think? Would you have liked to have seen this little girl channeling her murderous uncle? What direction would you have liked to see the series go? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.